Make sure to subscribe to our channel, join our Discord, and also follow us on Instagram so you always have the support that you need to really enhance your account and get yourself to the next level. Also, if you stick around until the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can save a lot of money when you make in-game purchases by getting some amazing cashbacks each time you purchase anything. Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sky channel. So this is going to be a PvE lineups recommendation video, and I know I did release a PvE tier list video last month and a lot of people appreciated it, but they also asked me to make a video on lineups in particular and not just an ant tier list because that might help them even more. Well, I did want to keep that video particularly focusing on ants, so I said I'll make another video where I'll talk about lineups, and this is that video. There's going to be a little bit of overlap, of course, because there are going to be the similar ants that we're going to be talking about, so I'll not go into too much detail if I can avoid it. I'll focus more on the lineups that you can use if you're a free-to-play player or if you're a pay-to-win player. And without further ado, let's get started by talking about the free-to-play options. In my opinion, one of the best options for free-to-play that I also use right now is this one, Leaf Devourer in row 1, White Crystal in row 2, and Hairy Panther in row 3. I know a lot of you have been saying the White Crystal in row 1 is better, but you know, I've done a few tests and I've had a few other Sky members do some tests too, and in general, White Crystal being in row 2 and Leaf Devourer in row 1 generally gives a little better results. Now, if you have other test results proving otherwise, feel free to drop them in the comments, but I'm gonna stick with this particular lineup for now because I think it does a little bit better. Leaf Devourer, with its awakening, is of course an amazing damage dealer. There's no doubt about that. Its awakening adds extra damage as well, making it even better, and overall, Leaf Devourer does do a lot of damage because of its skill number 5, which increases skill damage, and it actually stacks. The awakening at level 20 also increases the effect of skill 5 in the first 3 rounds, making it something that actually increases overall damage throughout all 8 rounds. White Crystal, big damage dealer, and it's a wetland ant, so definitely a good one, right? Because it's so new, and it also gets 10% of the frontline squad's attack attribute, and then based on the number of times the frontline does damage, it releases its skill more often. Hairy Panther, of course, we all know it's a pretty nice damage dealer. I wouldn't touch Leaf Devourer and White Crystal. If you have these two, you definitely want to keep them in this particular order and definitely want to try to use them as well. Hairy Panther, you could potentially replace that and test out Proada if you have that at a high star. Somebody told me that, you know what, Pangolin on Guardian Day is actually shooter ants, and I did see that logo of shooter being there, so perhaps if it's not Groundhog and if it's a Pangolin, you might want to test Proada if you have it awakened, and if you have it a decent star, you could potentially replace Hairy Panther and get away with it and do a bunch of damage as well. So you'd be looking at something like this. Overall, I think this does a lot of damage. You can see that I've definitely focused on White Crystal and gotten it to a high star level. At the same time, Leaf Devourer, which I can easily have 8 starred, is not starred up at all. Part of the reason is because Leaf Devourer is a Lost Island ant, and whenever I'm making starring up decisions, I'm thinking long run as well. Leaf Devourer, it's already gotten its awakening. It's probably not going to make another comeback in the future, but rather it's probably going to eventually lose the spotlight and be replaced by something that's better. White Crystal, on the other hand, it just came out very recently, and it still has an awakening that's yet to come, meaning it's probably going to remain relevant for some time. Luckily for us, Hairy Panther also doesn't have an awakening yet, so it might steal the spotlight sometime soon as well. Leaf Devourer, unfortunately, might not have a lot of second chances, and sooner or later it's going to lose its focus. So in my opinion, the investment of 8-starring Leaf Devourer right now, probably not worth it. Yes, you'll do a bunch more damage in Pangolin for a few weeks, but you never know when it's going to lose focus entirely, and there's going to be a better option for you to use anyway. That's the rationale I always use when I'm making starting up decisions, something that you should also consider whenever you're making any investments that are going to cost you a significant amount. if you have a lot of materials and you don't care about the long run costs and implications of using it, sure, you can. It's going to benefit you for sure in the short run, but remember that soon you're going to want to switch out the stars and it's going to cost you a little bit more if you do it twice, right? Moving it to Leaf Devourer and then moving it out of Leaf Devourer. Fortunately for us, the pay-to-win meta for PvE is not that different. All you need to do is switch out the Hairy Panther with the Iron Elephant. No surprise there, I do not have the Iron Elephant, but I'm sure everyone knows about the Iron Elephant and they know that it does a lot of damage. It is basically a big damage dealer for Guardians and it does huge amounts of damage both in PvE and PvP, definitely going in row 3, and honestly you probably want to give it the skill attack mutation because it does a lot of damage. Being pay to win gives you a few other good options that you can use. In particular, Arta does fairly well as well, though honestly I wouldn't touch any of the 3 ants, namely Leaf Devourer, White Crystal and Iron Elephant. If you have them, just use them. Don't go towards Arta or Proata for now, because I think you're going to be doing more damage with those 3 ants, and honestly they are free to play, right? It's only Iron Elephant which requires you to pay, the others are free and you probably already have them. And that's all I have for this video. Before you go, I do want you to know that you can save a lot of money in the Ants Underground Kingdom and join a lot of other users that are using our promo code and saving a lot of money while also helping our channel grow further. If you're interested, do check out the video that I'm linking in the description, or there's going to be a pop-up at the top right of the screen that'll take you to that video and you can watch the step-by-step on how you can start availing bonuses from 10 to 35% on every in-game purchase that you make in the Ants. You can join our Discord and join 1700 other players as well, and I'll be there as well so you can ask me for guidance on Aptoide directly as well. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.